Hello Andy, welcome. I'm wading in at the deep end again then. I've got a bit of prep done on this plane already. Flight plan is filed, weights and balances, in other words baggage and passengers on board. I'm not going to bother with any of the frills from GSX today. I just want to get the flight done. It's under an hour, the flight itself, flying here from Lisbon in Portugal to Madrid, Barajas Airport. I'm having one small issue, but it might be because the plane isn't really started yet, but I can't put the V2 speed in. Yeah. So I checked out a video on this plane, particularly in terms of the descent and approach, and the guy didn't do too much. He's a Boeing pilot, but he didn't do too much difference to what I do, except that he did bring the land button in earlier than I did previous, and he made mention of that when you see the ILS being captured, that you should switch down these buttons to ILS. But I didn't know what to look for on here to find out when the ILS was captured, so I'm just going to have to guess it. He didn't make that clear. Sebastian, the very, very hot sauce dude. 16 months, man. Back at it. Thank you. How do you do those messages where does it just come out like that when you post? Yeah, anyway, thank you for your continued support, Seb. 16 months, that kind of gets you into the legendary status, doesn't it? Super legend. Yeah, thank you so much, man. And yeah, both of you guys actually are really long time supporters, so yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Okay, so we need to get the plane fired up then. Got the batteries on, got the ground power on. The other thing I noticed on the video was as he was descending, I was going to say coming down there, but descending is the proper word. As he was descending, he was going through, he was at 3,000 feet, and then he was going through the speeds that you would reduce the plane down to. So for example, it's knowing when to do it though. That's the problem. It's knowing when to do it. Like when you get to a certain place, there'll be an S that comes up on here, which is for your slats. So that's when you start to reduce the plane by this dial. Even with auto throttle on, you change the speed here, and the Airbus should respond to the slats speed, which is here, 186. So we'll probably be at around 210, 208, 210 by that time. We'll reduce it down to 186. Then we'll see an F coming up on the display, this one, on the ribbon. And that's when we reduce it down to the flaps speed, which is here, 148. Right? And then after that, finally, we need to reduce it down to our VREF landing speed, which is here. This will not be the number. I think this is our outgoing number, but it can't be 211. I don't know what that is, but this has to be lower than the flap speed, so that's going to change at some point, I'm sure. And yeah, so it's a case of just going through the slats, the flaps, and the VREF speeds to eventually get the plane down to the VREF, and also putting the flaps down at a specific time, going to flaps, it's a Boeing, isn't it? It's an Airbus, so flaps. See, they changed all this because the Airbus A320 flaps is 1, 2, 3 and full. This is 15, 30 and 40, just like the Boeing kind of is. So we'd be starting off with flaps 15, going down to 20, and then getting on to 30, 40 here at the end. So it's all a question of timing that. And then at around 5 miles out from the airport, we want to be dropping the landing gear. That's the latest. You want to be dropping the landing gear, 5 miles. So, yeah, so there's that. Anyway, let me get my landing elevation in. I've got a couple more things to put in. And then I need to note down on my notepad my slats, flaps, and VREF speed. I'm not going to note down what's there right now because I don't trust those numbers yet. So, runway altitude quite high for Madrid. Hello, gain damage. How you doing? I don't know why I went up in pitch there, but yeah. Hello. How you doing, sir? So the runway altitude in Madrid is a whopping 1,922 feet. Closest I can get to that is going to be 19, so we'll do that. So the decision altitude, which we'll put in later. Actually, I was putting it in here, the decision altitude. But I don't think that's what you do. You do the decision altitude here. Oh, the numbers aren't on yet. We need to get those on. The decision altitude goes in here. And there is it might be on the approach. There it is, MDA. That's where we put it. Minimum decision altitude goes in here. Oh, there's the V. There's the V. Here we go. These are the speeds you want, guys. Look. I think this must be VFTO. I don't know. Is this like outgoing? What is 211? I don't know. No, this must be incoming. What's O? Slats, flaps. Let me just quickly check what VFTO is. Final takeoff speed. VFTO, okay. VH means maximum. We're not taking off at 211. That's way fast. That's really fast. We're not going to be doing that. Okay, so coming in then, we'll have to go to slat speed, flap speed, and then we'll be landing at the VAP speed. 136, not this. And these will be our flaps that we'll be introducing. Wait a minute. Do these correlate side to side? So at flaps 20, we need to be... No, that doesn't correlate because that's an incoming. So flaps... What? Why does this have a star in it? Is this the one we're supposed to be using? Anyway, so the decision altitude on approach will be 20. Oops. Doesn't take in the first number because I was on a different monitor. So 2032. 2,032 feet is our decision altitude. There we go. Now I've noticed during flight these numbers tend to slightly change. Like that just... Has that just... No, it hasn't just changed. They do slightly change a little bit. So we have to keep an eye on those on the approach. So, okay. So the flight plan is filed. There is no SIDS going out. We're just going to fly up in the air and go direct here to Agaro. And it's a very, very simplistic route. That spells danger. If you see here, we'll be leaving on runway 20. And then if we just follow this through, we'll go to Agaro, then we go along, then we're going to go up before going back across and down on the final approach into Madrid. I have done this flight before in the Airbus. It was fine. So yeah, let's see what happens. Alison, hey Alison, how you doing? Ahoy, yeah. Everything fine with gain damage. Good, good, good. Alright, so I guess I'd better get the rest of the plane lit up because it's clearly not. So, right, obviously navigation is done. We have the coordinates there. We have the external power is on. We have the power to the galley is on. Hydraulics are all in the greens. That's good. I don't like this warping. See, the thing is, I was going to get the beta because the beta has a lot of fixes for this plane. But I think none of them have got. None of the fixes affect the fundamentals of the flying of the plane. At least that doesn't seem to be the case. So had it been the case, I would have grabbed it, you know. But last time I grabbed a beta, it was fine until I went back to the base game and after the release of the thing. And then what happened there was I ended up having to do a full reinstall. Now I'm looking for the low pressure, is it low pressure oxygen? Oh, I think that's it. Low power supply on the oxygen. That needs to go on. Nice. Okay. Cool. Remind me, I need to put a conflow on later. It's just remembering the sequence, but I think we're going to go through the up and down flows like I would do on the Airbus. So let's go to seatbelts on, no smoking, set to auto. Lights at the moment I don't need. It's quite bright outside, warm outside, 18 degrees here in Portugal, so nice and warm. Blue, green and yellow hydraulics are all in the greens, so that's good. Let's have a look. Nothing else to set up here, I don't think. Flight recorder, we can put that on. I think it's legal, isn't it? It's like legally required to have your the voice recorder has to be on legally. Now ATS on, sorry, and your dampers on. And once you have aligned, then you can go with your pitch trims. You must have alignment on your GPS first. We do. We can put the pitch trims on. Anti-ice won't be required. Nav lights, logo, lights to auto. I'm doing all this from memory, guys, trying to remember. I like to put my wing lights on because I like to show off. So we're good up there. Okay. I want to try and get some of the fundamentals done before I put the APU on because I don't want to waste fuel, and I hope we don't run out of fuel mysteriously. Elaine Bennis and Steve Zodiac. Hello, you two. How are you guys? Just got stabbed with my eh? You just got stabbed with your 5G signal. Okay, well, with the booster, I got you. Well, yeah, keep out of its way. Sebastian, sorry, I meant to say thanks. I've been watching him for a good bit. Oh, not me? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, hi Steve. Hi Elaine. How you doing? Right, okie dokie. So, I'm all happy with all that. There's nothing up here I want to bother about. Cockpit voice recorder testing. You can do that. It is enabled. It does work. So, fuel pump then. To power the APU, you only need this guy on. The inner pump 2. But before I power that up, I just want to have a look. I don't want to put the heats on or anything like that until we've got the APU powered. Even though we're on ground power, I don't really want to do that. I think I'm kind of happy with this. The engine, and we don't need to bother about that. Oh, emergency exits is armed. It is. That's done. Annunciator light. You ready? Wind shear. Wind shear. Right, this just lights every single thing up on the on everything. It's everything, just to make sure it all works. Does it do it for down below here? Yes, it does. Just make sure all the lights work. I don't really fancy going through them. I'm just going to presume that it does work. So yeah, we'll take that off. Okay, so we have no center fuel, but we do have outer and inner wing fuel. So these are on the outer wings, outer part of the wings. These are on the inner. We should have 9.2 tons of fuel. Apparently, it's only going to take 4.2 tons of fuel to do the trip. I don't know. That's what I looked at, and that's what I thought I saw. So, okay, I guess we can fire up the APU. So we've got the fuel pump inner wing number 2 engaged. So let's get the APU on. It does take a little while for the APU to kick in on this plane. So let's start it up. And like I say, it doesn't... Oh, I'm in a good mood now. I'm in a good mood now. Let's see later just what happens, shall we? Yeah. Now then, I have got 2 messages on the YouTube chat, which on my OBS, which are not on my Firefox. So I'm going to refresh. There we go. The poor turkeys. Poor turkeys. Louisiana hot sauce. I have no idea what that is, but send me a bottle. Smoking one and deep frying the other. Then smoking a mac and cheese, a ham and a sausage apple stuffing. Here we go. You think your heart will appreciate it all, Seb? I know your taste buds will. Oh yeah. You should be the chef on my plane for serving really good plane food. Okay, so you can hear the APU still coming up. Obrigado, I will say when it's done, which is Portuguese for thank you. I don't know much Portuguese. I know 2 words. I know obrigado and os lados, which I think is ice cream or something like that. And I only know that because of the Formula 1 race I went to in Portugal. And there was a guy selling ice cream, and he was shouting, os lados mais baratos, which I think is like, you know, low price, like ice cream. It was like, yeah. Awesome. So who we got with us there? Mr. Moraes 07. Mr. Moraes, have that right? Hello, Mr. Moraes. Welcome. My family. Oh, who's going to eat all that? My family, okay. You've got more than one friend, Seb, you know it. We may not have met, but we're all family here. Went to the new Brazilian restaurant over the weekend. You have nuts? Wow. Yeah, I'll bet. You know, it's really cool sometimes to sample the cuisine of other places because, you know, like even in Gibraltar, some of the Spanish dishes and some of the actual local dishes in Gibraltar are just, oh my God, they're so good. They are so good. Yeah. Confirmed. Okay, so we're going to leave. In fact, I'm going to put APU bleed on right now. And then we'll get the beacon light on to signify that we're going to change. Nope. But we're going to power up the engines. I also know that when we get pushback, we need to go nose left in order to get to runway 20, which is what we're going to be taking off from. Landing in Madrid, runway 18 left. Oh, I hope this goes well. I think the takeoff, the climb, and the cruise are going to be fine. It's just going to be the landing, which, if anything's going to kill me, it's going to be the landing. So let's have a look. I'm going to put these runway and taxi lights on now. Normally you would do it after the pushback, but I'm going to put them on now because I'll forget. I know I will. There's no question I'm going to forget. Okay, so we don't need external power now, so we can take him away. Right, there's still a couple of orange lights and stuff on, but they should go off with engine start. So, now that we've got everything powered up here, I tell you what I did not note down, guys. Transition altitude. So I need to find that out. I do have all my charts pinned. So if you guys want to have a look at that, I can arrange that. So let's have a look. So in Navigraph then, this is Madrid. And the transition altitude coming into Madrid is, I think I just saw 5,000. Yeah, oh no, 13. Where did I see 5 then? Wow, 13,000. Okay, so trans in is 13,000, but that's in Spain. Portugal is a different country, so let's take a look. Hey, Mr. Morais07, thank you for your subscription. Appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. Right, did I? Yeah, I think I didn't pin the chart. I didn't really pin the chart that I needed here. This is great because now the VFR and everything, the maps here, they've got like infinite zoom or smooth zooming now, where you know, you look at this, you can zoom right into the taxiways, and if I set it up correctly, I can actually have it show my plane here on the map, so that I can watch myself taxi on here. Right, so anyway, transition altitude, don't think I'm going to get it from here. So let's go back to LPPT, which is where we're taking off from. And I want I'm going to go with the SIDS. We're not using any of these SIDS, but I think they will have the transition altitude on them. 4,000. Wow. Okay, big difference. So trans out 4,000. I want to just see if that's the same for all departures. It should be, because it has to be a standard measurement, so I believe it is. So yeah, 4,000 transition on the way out, 13,000 on the way in. What a difference then, just between Portugal and Spain. But that's what it is. Like I say, there's no SIDS on the way out. We're just going to fly direct to a waypoint, and then on the way in we'll be coming in via what's it called again? It's here somewhere. I'll find it. It begins with a T. This is our final approach. It's not that, it's the star we want. Oh, that's not the right one. It's this one, is it? Yeah, Toledo 6A. Oh yeah, because Toledo is just north of Spain, so that makes sense. I've been to Toledo once. There's a restaurant up halfway up a mountain there in the snow, because people go skiing in Toledo, and it's that was when I had my swordfish steak. Very nice. Okay, so I'm happy with this. Let's go back to the plane, and I'm happy with all the details now. So transition in, transition out, we've got that. So we're going to set it to the transition out altitude, which is 4,000. And the course going out on runway 20 is 205, so I want to set the initial heading to 205, even though I don't think it's going to be, right? Let's go over to the map. I mean, it is on the way out, but then we have to immediately switch here, which is around, what, 60? Yeah, so maybe I can set the heading to 60, but I'm going to do, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, 205. That seems a bit wild. What's going on here? If we're coming out at 205, what? Heading, and then heading 065, is it? Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so up here we want to put the flight directors on. Nav it is set. We want nav here. Now, I was thinking about not using profile, even though I know I should, and using the flex to temp option for takeoff. But what I wasn't sure about is if we have auto throttle on, right, right? So the auto throttle is controlling the throttle amount, right? If we go down here and choose flex to temp, which is 5.9, and therefore you can see as it's reducing the amount of throttle for takeoff. That's our takeoff throttle. Does this override this, or do they not work at the same time? Does it override the auto throttle? Anyway, I need to get back to the performance. Oh, the fuel's still 9.2, so I'm okay. I'm gonna get back to the performance here because apparently my V2 is 170 and it's not letting me put it in. I don't know what FCU is either. It's IBAO. I don't know what that is, mate. Hang on. No. This IBAO? No. No, this is just... No, I don't have any of that set up. Okay, so... I'm just looking what this FCU can be. Flight control unit. What? Oh, flight control unit. Okay, so you want me to set it here? Okay. So I'm going to set this to the V2 speed, which is what you normally do anyway. You put it in? Oh, okay, I see. You can't have a number put in greater than what's on here, right? Okay. So 135, 135, 170 is done. Approach we won't need yet because we're not approaching. Flight plan is in. All initialization is done on both pages. Flight level, we'll be flying at 38,000 feet today. I think I'm good with this, dudes. I'm good. Alright. In cruise, once we get up to the cruise, if I don't do it, guys, once we hit 38,000 feet, remind me to feed in the ILS and the course. I'm sure I will remember at some point. So what I want to do with this is I want to take off with this flex to temp. And then as we're climbing, instead of moving into the climb profile here, I want to just flip it into auto. So I have to remember to do that. Decision altitude is set. Runway altitude is set. What else? I think that's everything. Flight level is in. Takeoff weight. Takeoff winds. Oh, takeoff winds. Didn't put the takeoff top of climb wind. Didn't put that in. And that is here. No, I don't have these figures yet, but the top of climb, that doesn't go in here, I don't think. I think that's already been put in. That's already been put in. There it is. 262 degrees. This is our wind at our cruising altitude of 38,000. 77 knots it's going to be up there. So a little bit windy. Okay, I'm ready to go, guys. I think that's everything. This needs to go to -5. So let's do that. There we go. Awesome. I'm going to put the constraints on the display as well. That's on. These are fine. The brightnesses are good. What have I missed? I've missed TCAS. Where have they hidden TCAS out? Also, yeah, I think if we turn up these volumes here, number 2 and number 4, we can hear the ILS. We'll turn those volumes up. TCAS. Oh, we need to reset the rudder trim, of course. And the weather we can put it on to display 1. This is another thing that's been fixed apparently, is the weather display. Yeah, you know, I flew a small, well, I did a takeoff last night. I was watching a video of an Airbus A320 taking off from an island in Greece, and I was watching the video on my right monitor. I'd already seen it on my laptop, but I watched it on my right monitor, and I came to here on my main computer, and I replayed the video while I was doing the exact same thing in the exact same plane in the sim as they were doing in real life. And I'm telling you, apart from a slight difference in the colors of one of the islands, you know, I think in real life it was a little bit browner, where here it was more, not green, but it was just a different shade. Everything else was the same. The runway markings were the same. Okay, I have a third-party airport for this one, which I got, I picked up online, and it was a little scenery add-on that somebody had done, and the runway markings were the same. The islands were the same. The shape that exactly everything was the same. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how good this flipping thing is. Where's the TCAS on this? Oh my god. I'm probably looking at it and not even seeing it, you know? Oh, okay. Yeah. Done. Right, this is set. Pitch trim is set. The only thing I need to set now is flaps. And so let's bring the flaps down to 15. No, throttles can stay up. I've got no control over the throttles with my mouse. Look at this. Okay, so we'll arm the speed brakes and we'll go over to the flaps, bring them down to 15. Don't seem to have any control over it. Okay, I'll do it with the button on my controller, my HOTAS. To confirm that we're at 15, we will see it here. We should see this line drop down. It looks like we're not there, so we'll put down another one. Okay, perhaps I need the engine started. I learn things all the time. So we'll do the flaps when we get the engine started, and I'm going to do the speed brakes as well at the same time, so that I remember to do both at the same time. Same as when I'm landing. Flaps, as soon as the flaps go to 15, speed brakes on, and that's it. So let's get pushback. If I've missed anything, too bad. Right, so I will use can we get pushback on here? I think so. Services here. So disconnect that, and we're going to need to disconnect our handbrake if it's set. Okay, and we get pushback. I haven't done it with this. Oh yes, I have done it with this. Right, we need to go nose left, so I'm going to have to do all of I didn't really want to, I want to start the engines up as well, but I'll get the pushback done first, I think. Okay, so we need to go this way. That's the way of the vehicle that's steering you. That's the way you have to go. Your nose is going to the left, but you have to press the right button for that. So I'll start the engines up once we're in position on the taxiway. Commander classified. Yeah, need the engine started indeed. For the hydraulics and whatnot, right? Okay, pushed. I have been pushed to my limits, guys. So let's fire up. Once I remember to press the right button, just that one. Okay, so APU is on, APU bleed is on, and position A, and start engine number 2, and watching for N2 here to rise to 20, then we can inject the diesel. If only. Okay, we are good. Engine 2 fuel going in, and now we can see when the N2 is rising, when we start the engines up, the N1 should rise as well, but quite slowly, and once the fuel is injected in, well, then it should just go right up. And it looks like we're getting a good start on this one. We also want auto brakes to maximum as well. And now, you see that flicker? That was it switching over to engine power. So I think we can come off the APU now, but I'm going to wait for the other one to start. So let's get back and do engine number 2. Where are you? So engine start on 1. We should see a small increase in N1 as well. There we go. N1 is the fan, N2 is basically the jet. That's what the difference is. So, there we go. And now N2, the fan, will start getting up to power. And while it does that, let's get some flappage. So we want to go from there. It's difficult to see. I think it's that one. I'll confirm it here. It should go down to 15 and stop. Okay, it has. And also we want the speed brakes armed. We want the auto brakes to maximum, just in case we need to abort the takeoff, which hopefully we won't. I've never had to do that before because I'm such a brilliant pilot. Alright, yeah, if only that were true. Okay, I haven't done anything like the landing gear warning tests and the engine and APU tests because I just want to get the flight done, really. Okay, we've got 2 good engine starts and we're ready. And we need to put the parking brake on, of course. I should have done that before. So I'm just thinking now of anything that I may have forgotten. I don't think so, though. I think we're good. Engines are started. So the only thing I need to put in during the flight is going to be ILS and course coming in, which is not a problem. Come on, Rusty, don't mess this up. What else? Heading is done, altitude is done, V2 speed is set, navigation and profile is on, auto-throttle, yeah, I think that engages on its own. So I'm going to leave that alone. I think that comes on its own when you put the autopilot on, but what I want to do now is I want to try, and fly up to around 10,000 before handing over to the autopilot. What fun. Alright guys. Yeah, it's going to be getting dark, at least coming into twilight, getting into Madrid, I would imagine, because it's around 52 minutes, the flight. So I just want to confirm that the taxiway to runway 20 is going to be okay. I don't want to use a follow me, but I think it's straight up, guys, to the top. I don't know why we're stuttering. No idea why we're stuttering. Good heavens. I have no idea why it's doing this. Right, there's no... Okay, so we need... Oh, right, we need to go on the other side. No idea what's causing this this BS. So we follow this... We're all the way up. We're all the way over here. So we need to come all the way up, follow this right to the top, and then cross over. So we need to take this right hand by the building, we need to take the right hander. It's not going to do this outside, is it? Okay, seems fairly smooth here. Right. Seatbelts are on, everything's good to go. Parking brake disengaged. Warning lights or warning messages on the memo. Nothing, but I notice APU is running, so that can come off. We'll leave the bleed on because it's not. I don't think it's going to do anything, right, with the APU off. Well, it does reroute. Okay, we'll leave that on then. Right, leave that off. Okay, go, 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 go. Flaps are in, slats are done. Yeah. So we've got a fair amount to taxi. I will be ignoring vehicles. So I'm going to have to start putting lights on and stuff like that. Which, if I can grab them. The lights for the overhead. Jump. Can't remember where they are. Roger. Hey, no worries, man. No apologies necessary. As long as you're here, it's all that matters. If he is where you want to be. Oops. Okay. It said runway 20 on the other bit, but I believe that we can also go this way, cross over the runway onto the other side. I believe so. I hope my beliefs are good. So this should see us cross the runway. Hopefully nothing's coming, otherwise it'll be a tremendous crash. I suppose if I'd done Madrid to Lisbon instead, I could have been chasing the sunset, so to speak. But no, it's fine. I don't mind if it's nighttime or whatever like that, because I'm basically landing, using my instruments anyway. I don't know what's causing the sim to be so choppy though. I'm going to shut down Navigraph and stuff like this just in case. I don't think I'm going to need Navigraph again. I think I've got all the info I need anyway. I don't get bad performance through here, because, you know, on flight after all the setup that we've done. Angry Citizen, hey matey, how you doing? Endless amount of blankets. Do you know what? When I'm sleeping at night now, I have 2 jumpers on, a thin one and a thicker one, and my quilt. Oh man. And even then I still need the heating. Right, so this is the final turn off then for runway 20. Excuse me, I'm going to need to throat clear it a few times. I'm going to go for this outer one here. Oh, what's wrong with the frame rates? Why are we getting stutters? Maybe it's the airport. I just hope it smooths out in flight, because if it doesn't, it's probably going to get worse. Which isn't good. Were these lights on just a few moments ago? I don't recall it. So we've got a pretty good taxiing speed here. This is not bad. People say walking speed, but no. I mean, no. Just know you can't be going at a human's walking pace for taxiing. Nope. Right, so we'll be taking off with the flexed temp thrust, 97.6% thrust. So we'll be about 5%. Let me see now, 3.5, maybe, okay, 98, 93, 3.5% down on maximum thrust. Because maximum thrust, believe it or not, is somewhere in like the 101% range. And if you look here, you'll actually see that it says thrust limit. This is our maximum thrust, 102.8. 102. How can you get 102% thrust? How can you get more than 100%? I don't understand it. Anyway, are we ready? Yes, we are. Okay, plane, now you listen to me. I want to do a smooth takeoff, smooth cruise, and particularly I want a smooth landing. Alright, so before we get going, I'm just going to add a little more immersion. You know what it is. Just pretend that we're getting takeoff clearance right now, and we want to go to Lisbon Tower, which is 119.555 Lisbon Tower. So let's tune that in. 119.555. There we go, Lisbon Tower, and we should start hearing the live ATC. Okay, I'm ready to go. So let me just check my messages here. Okay, 2 things. I'm trying to remember everything in order. The taxiing is done, right? So we can put the nose lights. Oops, trying to get up there to take off position. Runway turn off lights we don't need anymore. We can take those off. And ignition can go. It's not raining. It's not heavy. It's not bad. So we don't need to go into continuous. We can just stay on the off position mode. Parking brake off, held on the wheel brakes, and let's go. Checking the engines are stabilized, and they seem to be. Yes, they both end rising nicely, so flex to temp, let's go. Alexa, stop. I don't know why she's piping up. I never even mentioned her name. Alexa's playing some music and I don't know why. Alexa, stop. Okay, positive rate of climb, gear up. It's actually gone down again, but there you go. Okay, I said I was going to manually pilot this thing, but it looks like our first waypoint is in the complete opposite direction. Initial climb at 15 degrees, now coming down to 10. And I'm going to make my initial turn. And frame rates are going to screw me up, guys. Unfortunately. Damn. There's always a hurdle, isn't there? There's always something to mess me about. Oh, shoot. That's not too late. Put the aircon on. Stay at a 10-degree climb. I'm still flying the plane manual, and we are not going quick enough. That's because I need to go back to auto. Oh, it's on auto. Okay, cool. Well, we've got no flaps. We've got no... Yeah, that's all off. Why is 10 degrees causing me to be so slow then? Because the plane's not throttling up. Okay, now we need to go to standard. Still flying manual. A bit reluctant to look out the window at the moment until yeah, so we're in the climb phase apparently, and we're using 99.7% thrust. I'm just going to reduce the rate of climb down to about 5 so the plane can just pick up a little bit of speed. Once we hit 10,000, I'm quite happy to go to autopilot. Such is my confidence. And then I'll get to your messages, which are probably about food and and the weather. Okay, 10,000, autopilot engaged. Nav profile. Oh, we need to set this up. Fault. I'm going to disengage autopilot for now because I didn't want the plane to drop. That was my fault. I should have had the yeah, it's fine, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, be happy, all that stuff. I'm going to dial in 20,000 feet for now. Autopilot engage. I'm going to incite a level change right now because it's dropping and I don't know why. Is it because because we have a constraint coming up. No, not really. Okay, it says 245 here, auto throttle is on, and are you about to overspeed? I hope not. So let's start the climb up to the cruise altitude, and then we'll do the rest. Flying high today, guys. It's less than an hour flight, but we're still going to be up at 38,000, which is high. Switch that over to profile now. So we have a speed of 317 knots armed. So the plane will, I guess, accelerate to that speed and going up to 380. And then we want to come to this panel and remove the seat belts because everything's okay now. And we also want to get rid of, if we can find the way to do it. You see, it lets me move these switches even with the no entry sign on there, which is kind of weird. Now, what about the cabin pressure? Did I do it in time? It looks like it's okay. 23 across the board is good. Alright, let's take a look outside as the sun sets over Portugal. So, that's twice. I didn't even have to look at a checklist. Just hit a button on my throttle, and I'm hoping against hope that it doesn't do anything. The weather map is supposed to be on, but I'm not seeing anything unless it's just because the weather is kind of clear. We just make sure we are getting it on the display here by switching onto that mode. Yeah, we are. Okay, that's got. I think that is what's being fixed on the update. We will see when it comes out. Okay, so this is our climb rate, which is what, 2,500 it looks, 2,500 feet per minute rate of climb. Excellent. Right, you guys, what have you been chatting about? The snowfall for gain damage? Yeah, there was some snow in the UK. I think last time I was asked on stream, but it wasn't where I was. We had blue skies today, but it has rained, so, or it has, yeah, it drizzled. I don't know. I really haven't been paying attention to the weather too much, but I know the skies were blue earlier. 7007. Becoming a human burrito helps. Yeah. Head first into the sun. Well, if you don't mind vaporizing, you can do that. Why not? Okay, so while we're climbing up, losing visibility as we go, let's see if we can sort this overhead panel out. I know there is a flip switch for putting on lights which are here. But what I want is illumination for the instruments, but I don't know if there is. I can never remember where the damn thing is. Like, we've got overhead here, and you've got a storm light. I don't know what that's for. But for lighting up instruments, I'm not convinced that the switch is on this panel, because I can never find the damn thing. But I know that the brightness switch is for my side of the instruments is here. This one, Captain Light Brightness. Yeah, the instrument lights. And then we've got the floodlight for me. And then the co-pilot would have the same on his side. I think. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. Okay, so we've got lights up there, but and then there's lights down here. Should be. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out where they all are. I haven't forgotten to put the ILS frequency in yet, so I'm fine with that. So overhead light brightness, pedestal, right, well that's this. This is the pedestal, or the center console. So that lights all the buttons up. So I need a light brightness twiddly switch for up here. See, we've got lights here, but so you would expect them to be here, but you know, I guess they are lit up, aren't they, really? Yeah, maybe we just did it. Anyway, it's enough for me. I'm happy with that. So, climbing through 26,000 now. How do we know when we intercept the ILS? Are we really at flight level 380? Well, I know we are, because it says it here on the flight plan. It seems quite a distance to go up. But anyway, I guess so. So, how are we doing on the old fuel? Wow, those fans are kicking it in. Look, 104%. What?
3 Bravo Hotel, speed 1.
Right, ILS frequency then for landing will be 111.5.
7 at Woodville.
And the inbound course to the runway will be runway 18 left, and it is dead on 180 degrees. So I can choose to go forwards or backwards. It's the same. It doesn't even deviate, this one. It's exactly 180. Couldn't ask for better. Fuel is down to 6.7. What? Center tank feeding. We had this issue last time. And I put a lower cost index in, 6.6 now. This fuel's running out too quickly. We've lost a shit ton of fuel in a very short space of time. We started with 9.2 tons. We've lost 3 tons? Obviously it's going to use a lot less fuel once it hits the cruising altitude, because we are throttling up here like crazy. It looks like it's over the 100%. That shouldn't be, but it's on its climb profile. It's set to profile. Profile is climb. Throttle limit has now been 103.5, which matches up with kind of what we have here. That's set to auto. I'll have to monitor this fuel. Once we start getting to, once we hit 38,000, I want to see how much thrust is being used on these engines once we level out. It's obviously going to be a lot less, but, and then of course even less fuel coming down again. So this is where we're burning the most. There's top of climb, so we're going to have to do another 20 something nautical miles before we reach top of climb. Really though? Yeah, maybe 20, but there's only another 5,000 feet to go, so alright, let's take a look on the outside where it's colder. I can get a... Oh, check that out. I wish I had my buttons set up for rotating the display, but I don't have that. big fan of the camera lensing thing. The sun is going down here in. We're probably in Spain now, I would say. Probably crossed the border into Spain. I don't know. I can have a look and see where we are. I'll have a look. Don't dump your fuel. No, I won't. I never did it last time. What do you mean again? Oh, I'm not dumping any fuel. Right. Let me just have a look on the map, see where we are. Caceres. We're approaching Caceres. So, yeah. Badajoz, which is on the right, Caceres approaching. So, yeah, we are in Spain, guys. We just crossed the border. Because Caceres and Badajoz are both in Spain. And we're flying up to, yeah, we're on a dead straight course heading for Madrid. We've got Salamanca to our northwest, quite a distance off, but Caceres is on our right, which I don't think we'll be able to even see it. Well, it's not a lot to see down here, but it's probably going to be around over here somewhere, maybe even this patch, I don't know. Now, throttle is reducing as we're about to hit 38. Like, did we even get a fuel low warning last time? I mean, I know it happened while I was droning around on the floor, on the ground, with the drone. Now, look at the throttles reducing now. Cost index, I've put it down to 25, so that's more of a fuel saving than what we had last time. Okay, so this should severely reduce the amount of fuel. It has to just even itself out now, I guess. So now it's switched from CL to CR, which is gone from climb to cruise now, and it's minus 32 on the skin of the airplane. That's a little bit cold, but the air that's going past the plane is minus 59 degrees. Get your big jumpers on, guys. It's cold outside. Yikers. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's cold. And we have stars. I think I don't know. I think I heard tell that these stars are correctly positioned as well. But I'm not sure. You know, like the main ones. I actually don't know if that is the case, though. Right, let's pop into... I don't know which button it is. I'm going to try a couple until we get there. There we go. And we've got this side. And we have the cabin with the mood lighting. You can switch these okay. I was about to say you can switch these lights on and off, but hey. And in the update, the seatbelt light up here comes on and off when you switch the switch in the cockpit. Why is it daytime outside?
Good. Tony 371, speed 17. Woodhill, contact tower at the mark of 118-17. I'm coming to Woodhill, but over to the tower.
Guys. Time just moved. WTF? What is going on? Okay, so we've got 6 tons of fuel remaining, which should be plenty to get us to Madrid. That should be way plenty. Engines are on 88. Maximum we can do in cruise 97. We're on 88, so we're nice. What the flip frig just happened? Real time. Yeah, I don't think so. You see, it's 5:30 here. Portugal and Spain is 1 hour ahead. I can't change this unless I... Thank you. That's the correct time. This is our time. UK time is and UTC are the same at the moment. And then we have this. Now what's happening? Okay, we're good. I've never seen that happen before, guys. It's a new one on me. It might be a bug. I mean, we've seen a bug with the drone camera, right, where the plane ran out of fuel, and we've seen a bug where now going into the cabin essentially converts it into a TARDIS. Yeah, that's weird. Toza Gaming. Is it Toz? Toza? I don't know how to pronounce it. Toz Gaming. How are you doing? I did time warp. Yeah, let's do the time warp. Gravitational time travel. Gravitational, eh? Where I come from, gravity's something that you pour on your dinner. Right. Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened. So, we've got our flight here from Portugal thing, but we don't have a progress thing going on here, which is a shame. No, do we have Navigraph charts on here? I can't remember. This is the checklist. It's a very simplistic checklist, this is... I think these are just like the main things that you want to be checking. They're not like... It's not like the cold and dark setup deal that you would have. Yeah, no, so I don't know. I don't think you can get Navigraph on here. Okay. Descent's going to be interesting. So let's have a look at our descent profile and see. So we need to be... Alright, so I need to note these down. So our slats speed is 184. Like I said, this can change, but it's only going to be minor, if anything. Flaps retracting speed 147, and our VAP speed is 134. MDA is 2032, which is our decision altitude, 2,032 feet, because Madrid is a couple of thousand feet above sea level. Our landing weight, I guess that's it. That's what that is, 105.9. Our takeoff weight was 111 point blah blah, 111.7. So we're going to be using up 6 tons of fuel, and we had 9.2. So yeah, we're good. It feels going down slow now, so we're good here. It's the descent. I don't want to get overwhelmed on what to do on the descent either. I'm going to need to plan out my... well... Does this need to still be on now? I don't think so. So top of descent... top of descent, and then we start coming down. We've got ILS and course in. It's just a case of doing the flaps, reducing the speed down in steps correctly. This should go from dashes into an actual number on the descent. I hope it does. That's what I'm theorizing it's going to do, and then I can start changing the speeds on the descent, bringing the speeds down to, we need to be at 250 by the time we get to 10,000. We cannot be more than 250 if we're at 10,000 feet or under. We cannot be going more than 250 knots. And then we'll eventually get the S on the ribbon here, and we'll reduce the speed manually down to 184, and then we'll get the F on the ribbon, and then we'll reduce it down to 147, and then as we're coming in on final approach, with the flaps fully down and the wheels down, we'll reduce the speed to 134 and smoothly land on the runway. Right? Yeah, people are having problems with the plane, Toza Gaming. I certainly have been having them, and I have been calling this a shitty airplane as well. But I'm going to give this another go and see what happens. Now, it is getting some treatment in the latest beta, and in the next update, which will be the beta right now is 1.29.29. This is 1.29.28. So the beta does fix a lot of things on this plane. However, it's mainly EFB changes, volume sliders, and noise levels with certain things, noises of the APU, stuff like that. Some texture changes as well. I had a look at the changes, and I didn't really see anything that was to do with any of the fundamentals of flying the plane, like a broken autopilot or stuff like that. There was nothing mentioned there. But there's enough changes for you to determine that the plane, when it was released in this state that we're having it now, was not finished, basically. So yeah, we're flying under 250 already. Yeah, so okay, I guess that's to do with the cost index that I picked, which was 25. Anyway, I don't know if that affects it, but I think so. So yeah, in the update with the Airbus, we've got well, actually I can show you while we're in flight. So if you see here, we have general bug fixes, crash the desktops and stuff. I've not had any of those at the moment, fingers crossed. Let me just make this a little bit larger. So with the Airbus, we have textures for parking brake, spelling fixed. I'll have to have a look at that now. In the EFB, or the iPad, the electronic flight bag, we've got added automatic METAR lookup based on the to and from airports. That's cool, that'll save a little bit of time. Auto-populating wind, temperature, runway conditions, QNH, and the METAR. Nice. Oh, from the METAR. Sorry, that didn't make sense. And the METAR. Yes, from the METAR. It puts the air pressure in, runway condition, temperature, and wind. Again, a little bit of a time saver only. Added manual METAR search. Ability to enter numbers on the flight planning page, as well as sliders for packs, cargo, and fuel. Okay. I was happy with the sliders, but then again, there was a couple of entries like the cargo. I wanted it at 5.3, and the slider went from 5.2 to 5.5. I couldn't get it in between. So yeah, having the numbers to be able to add would be great. Remove sound volume sliders, fixed erroneous ETA to destination. Then there were just some sound changes, different levels, directionality of APU noise. Again, these don't affect the flight, really. So, volume levels to me, they don't matter to me. It's just, I don't care. It doesn't change. It's great that they're fixing it, but it doesn't affect anything to do with the flying. The rest is like tooltips, stuff like that. Weather radar switch fixed, that's on the tooltips though. ATC stuff has been updated as well on with this plane. We've got you can now bind the cockpit lights to a key. Let's put it this way: when you use the L key for the lights, it now works in this plane. This is the light that's attached to your head, I think, your flashlight. I think that's what that is, because that's what happens when I press the L here. And then I think the rest is just, yeah, it's just that. So this is what's in the beta at the moment. If you sign up to the beta on Steam, this is what you'll get. Fixed potential crash when requesting missing or malformed waypoint, VOR or beacon, directional beacons. So that's not going to affect me at the moment. I'm okay with that. But yeah, like I say, I would have signed up to the beta, but last time I did, I had to reinstall the whole thing again after I signed out from the beta. So I only wanted to sign up again if it was absolutely necessary to this flight. And judging by this, there's nothing here that is going to affect this flight. So I'm happy to stay with this version for now until they release 12929. Comprende? But yeah, so just we're moving, guys. We're turning around. What happened here? Did we just do a sharp turn for the plane to come off the flight path like that? Oh, guys, have I missed my thing? Have I been yapping too much? No. Top of descent is coming up when? NVS 17. We need to move, guys. I think I've messed this up again. Are you moving? No. Can you execute a level change like right now? I missed this last time because of too much yapping. I have to remember that it's a short flight. I keep getting caught out by it. So by TLD we need to be at 150. Can we make that? No. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've missed this, guys. I've messed it up by too much talking again. I mustn't allow myself to get distracted. We've got to be at 12,000 feet at NVS. And NVS is... we're on top of it. I'm going to have to circle the plane round, guys. God damn it. What's our heading? Okay, we're going to have to tell the plane to go around until we reach the altitude that we want. So I have to circle round and then we'll come back to this waypoint when we get to around 12,000 feet. What a swine. I suppose in a way this is it's a way to teach me a lesson and finding me a way to get out of it. Aquatic Borealis, hey. Yes, same plane, aquatic. I'm going to master this SOB if it kills me. And I'm making a mistake now because I didn't descend correctly. Is that 10,000, 12,000? Okay, so we can still be, but mind you, what's Etuni here? 12,000. this is 10,000 limit, what we're going to be. Is that 12,000 or above? It is. Okay. So I'm just going to, I'm turning the plane around 180 degrees, basically, until we've brushed off enough altitude that we can turn back onto the flight plan. So we are not on profile, we are not even on nav. I'm doing this manually because I messed it up, guys. I messed it up. And we are increasing in speed, so I'm going to maybe see if I can just tell the plane to, hey, oh, please come out of Mach. Thank you. Okay, it's staying at 270. Right, so we're pretty much on manual mode now. Autopilot is on, but I'm commanding it to do everything because I messed it up. Life. Okay, so I've got manual throttle, manual direction, and manual altitude. Well, it's actually coming down to 12,000. So we're flying back the way we came. The problem with this is I need to be able to turn back as soon as possible because I do not want to run out of fuel or anything like that. So the plane will now remain at 270. Heading is 180, which we were at 0 on the way there, so 180 happens to just be literally doing a 180 on this occasion. So we need to, when we go back to the right direction, I need to turn the button to the left, not to the right. I don't want to be going up back to 0, I want to be going down back to 0. So that will make the plane turn to the left. I don't need it turning to the right. And we need anti-ice on apparently as well. It's getting cold now. So we'll put the anti-ice on. Oh, I can cope with all of this. It's just that landing, you know. Now we're only coming down at 2,000. I need more. I need more, guys. I want it to come down more. So come down at 2,500. That's it. You go back up there. Actually, we can probably do 3,000 feet a minute. Let's do that. So that should stop the needle right there. Stop. So where were we at when we turned around? 25,000 was it? So 25 to 12 is 13. So half of that 6.5, so 25, 6.5. So I would say about 18,500 feet we can start turning the plane around and we should be okay by then. I'm going to leave it till 18,000 and then I'm going to turn the plane around and then get everything back on profile and have the plane carry on and hope that I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, that was just rage though, getting damage, you know. It's funny how it says that the thing is, when it gets super cold outside, there's no risk of icing. It's only when it gets into this zone, like plus 6 degrees of the air hitting the skin, it's now in icing range. You know, well, it's not now, it's just gone off. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna hit 18,000, and I'm gonna bring the plane round to the left to get it back, and hopefully we'll be at 12,000 at the right moment. Okay, let's swing it round. Once we get back to 0, I can have the plane navigate to the waypoint. If it's still got it on its display. Yeah, not much to see out here, unfortunately. We're basically flying on instruments, which is what we always do anyway, so what the hell difference does it make? Yeah. Just nosedive the thing in. So we did lose that waypoint. I can't remember what it was called. Is it still there? Yeah, NBS. So I can have the plane fly to NBS once we turn around. See. Excuse me. Row fix? How the hell are you there? How the hell did you get down to here? Oh, okay. Okay, I know what it is. It's because, okay, Jesus, you frightened the life out of me there. I wonder what the hell it was doing. No, it's fine. It's because we're linking onto this one and then coming away all the way around. Jesus Christ. I thought, what the hell? That can't be right. We've moved through time and space. But we're fine. Okay, so we're approaching 12,000 feet right now, so we're good. So let's have the plane now fly. I'm going to just point it direct to NBS and tell it to go there. And we're now going to choose nav and profile and auto-throttle back on. So autopilot now has commanded the plane fully. I let the plane fly out a little bit too far then. But we are now at 12,000. And we need to stay there. At least for now. Right, pay attention, Rust. Jesus. Right, so we're approaching NBS now. So why isn't this at the top of the page? Come on guys. What is this? I haven't seen this before. What is this, vertical deviation? I don't know. Right, so here, NBS, we need to be at 12,000 feet or above at 250 knots. That's purple. That means you have to obey. So we need to come down to 250. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for the letter S on the tape as well. So 250 at 12,000, that's our instructions. I will obey. I will obey. Oh man. Yeah, the Airbus time machine. TARDIS, Airbus. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Oh, altitude held. Of course, yeah, of course it has. Because it's reached the altitude we told it to get to, and so now it's gone from profile to holding. make sense to me. As long as it makes sense to me, I'm happy. It's when it stops making sense that I have a problem. Let's remove the anti-ice. I don't think we have a threat with that anymore. I tell you what, landing at night time in a plane that you've not had a lot of success with, yeah, it's just a further risk. How will I know when the ILS has been captured, guys? Like before switching from nav down to ILS mode, apparently there's something on one of these screens that tells you the ILS has been captured. But I don't know what to look out for. Are we moving? This seems an awful... I mean, we can speed up as long as we're at 250 by the time we get here. Actually, no, it looks okay.
Air Fanatec G39, turn right heading 235, and then 3000, clear for the ILS.
Yeah.
Right approach.
Oh, that's Madrid. Yeah. Yep. Capital city, you know, that's Madrid right here. I've driven through Madrid at night like this. Yes, I have. And I've even been to the airport that we're going to right now, Barajas. I have landed there many years ago when I was a lot younger and better looking.
Chad 625, cross code of V160 knots or left, contact tower now, 119.55. Go to 160 over tower now, Chad.
If I reduce the speed again, does that go back onto profile?
Cruise 1985, descend to 5,000.
Altitude, not speed. So we're just going to start obeying all of the instructions here now. And you see this now. This is a constraint, right? So you're constrained to this altitude and speed. If I remove, I'm showing constraints here. If I take them off, you can see that's what makes them go away. But I want them on because I want to know what's happening. But it does tell you on here anyway. At least it should. For a tuner, we want to be around 220. And you can see how the speed's getting reduced on the way down. So I want to try and do that. I'll get the speed down to 220 for a tuner. Same altitude. And then for Rilco, we're just going to reduce it down to flight level 110. Oh, come on, Rusty. It's when to engage the landing mode. And that's when the ILS has been captured. Like you would go ILS on both sides.
Chad 619, turn left, 170, vector 5.
Which switches the ILS mode on. We're too high at the moment for that. And we don't need to be doing that. Alright, plane. I know I directed you just to here, but you have to carry on this flight path. And that's what you're going to do, isn't it? Because you're a good plane. Good plane. Tell me you're a good plane. Right, now you can see here it says 220 knots, 12,000 or above, which is exactly what it says here. See? Plus. So it's 12,000 plus or above. Okay, so now we're coming past that waypoint. The plane has turned, thank you. And now we want to start reducing the speed down to 220, which I will do that momentarily. Let me just take a look and see if we can... So the runway itself is after what? We have Rilco, then we've got CF and FI, and and then the runway. Gotcha. Okay. So CF and FI is there. So I think at Rilco we're going to be 11,000. Wow, we're going to have to make quite a little bit of a drop there. But okay, if you think we can do it. Okay, so I'm now going to reduce speed down to 220. We're getting close to our slat speed now, you see. So it's just a nice steady reduction. And we still need to be at 12,000 or above, so I'm just going to obey what they say and hope that it's all good and correct. I definitely reduced the throttle too early. Oh, transition altitude was what? 13? Sugar lips. We need to get the Meta from Madrid now. Barajas, where are you? Oh, are you not down as Barajas? Awesome. Not cool, guys, not cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to cheat. So it's 101.73004. We've got that there. So 220, 12,000 feet. Wind is coming from 281 degrees and it's 41 knots. That's why you can see it's pushing on the tail and pushing the tail out to the side. So we're got a little bit of crosswind here, 41 knot crosswind. We're good. Any of this working or what? No. Looks good though. Maybe one day somebody will do a mod for this and get all the rest of the systems working. I don't know. To be fair, this plane, it has enough systems working to be close enough to study level, I guess, for a free plane that came with the sim. Tony E! Hi Tony, welcome to the stream. More bum scrubs to work? What? Yeah, you know what made me slow the plane down was I had this up and it looked like we were getting really close to it. I could increase the speed back to 250 because there's still about 10 nautical miles to go to reach it, 10.7 to be exact. Oh man. So capturing the glide slope, we're probably going to do that around 3,000 feet. See, this 1,900 feet height of the runway is because that's the height of it above sea level, where we are at altitude, and altitude is different to height. Yes. So I think our 12,000 is 12,000 above this 1,900. So it'll be 13,000. We're actually 13,900 above sea level, or something like that. Because the actual runway is a little bit higher than the airport, but yeah, around that range. I think that's how that works. Our altitude is based on the ground, and this is based on sea level, right? Height and altitude are two different things. I do know that. Yeah. Things you learn when you're flying a plane. Okay, Tony, no problem. I used to do the same thing. The same thing. Yep. I've even seen a van that belonged to a place that sold coffee to different places with espresso written on the van. I used to spell it espresso myself until I was educated on the subject. Yeah, it happens. It's just one of those things that, you know, everybody cottons onto, and then, you know, you don't really pay attention to it. Now, what was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. Right. Approach checks. Everything is set up, right? So we've got that on. We're going to need putting brakes onto low. Throttles are being reduced nicely. Fuel, how's our fuel going? Fine, 3.2 tons. Right, so for our next little waypoint, we want to reduce our altitude. Speed stays the same, altitude comes down to 11. Can you handle that on your own plane? Or do you need me to tell you? Right, so for coming in, ILS course done, auto brakes will be done, speed brakes will be armed. Now I've got the ILS volume up, but I don't know if that's gonna, I don't know what to listen out for. Okay, so coming down to 11, just obeying everything here. So we have Rilco, and then, oh, this has changed, look, you see, the numbers have changed now. The slats are no longer 184, it's 181. Flaps is 144, not 147 anymore. And the VREF is 132, not 134. So I need to know distances. What's the distance between Rilco and CLF? See, these are the times, right? So it looks like we're going to be landing at 18:15. So in 10 minutes we should be on the ground, but these are all at the same time. CF and FI, they're probably together. So we've got 5 minutes between Rilco and CF to get this plane down to 6,000 feet. So maybe this 6,000 does include this 1,900 then. Because this is pretty high. 6,000 is pretty high, I think, to be at between what the 4 minutes it takes to get from CF to the runway. It must be taking into account the fact that the plane is that the airport is about 2,000 feet above sea level, so that we must be including that then. I'll have to ask and find out. I did find out once, I just forgot. I've forgotten since. I don't think there's a terrain issue coming in to Barajas. It's quite open. It's not like we're going into the jungle or anything. We're not gonna see a thing, guys. Oh. All I want to see is some runway lights and this plane descend on its own. Can we do it? Can we make it work? like, because I don't know how many miles it is to the runway, I... Hold on. Yeah, no, it doesn't tell you. I need to plan the flaps. I guess I have to plan the flaps not on distance, but on altitude. Yeah, so it's a case of what altitude do you bring the flaps in on? That's where I need to do my research. You can't base it off distance. I used to do it that way. I used to go, okay, at 10 miles out, we'll start putting the flaps down. 5 miles out, we'll start putting the undercarriage down. But it really doesn't work that way. So the next waypoint is 6,000. I need you to start dropping now, and speed is going to be 196. Uh-oh. Okay, it's got 132 armed. It's speeding up. Why are you doing that? Because we're not descending. See, and this is the problem. It's ascending again. It's instead of coming down, which it was told to do, it actually went higher and speeded up. I don't know what to say. I think on final approach, I think that the plane has a serious issue, and so it needs to be done. Look. Wow, you freak. It's fucked me over. Look, the speed is increasing, right? We're now at 11,000 feet, and I have commanded... And now we're overspeeding. I've got no control over this aircraft on the descent. But what pisses me off is that I've seen other people do it. That's not right. So why? Why, guys? 1, 4... See, we have a number here, 144. But it's no good you turning onto the runway now. You're not going to make it. I mean, you're just way too fucking high. Why are you going to beyond the aircraft's operating thrust speed? Why? Fuel is low. Yes, the fuel is low, but it would have been fine had you done what you were supposed to do. I've done everything correct. I haven't made any mistakes. Auto-throttle is where the plane takes care of itself. It's on automatic here, it's on auto-throttle there. It gets told here that the speed has to be at 196. The auto-throttle has to obey that. And it was armed with 132, but instead it increased the throttle and it increased the altitude. So I should maybe just leave the plane like this and see where the hell it thinks it's going. not designed to fly at this speed. So, once again, I don't know. What do I do with this live stream, guys? Do I leave it public or do I just delete it? 6,000 and it's holding here. I even took auto-throttle off and commanded my own speed, and like it just couldn't give a monkey's toss. It had no interest in paying any attention to what I was telling it to do. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Aquatic, but I don't know who the developer is. Any builds, right? Yeah. Okay, so 270 is armed, but the plane is not doing it. So, is this thing at fault? I don't know what MCT is. I wish I knew. Why is it not doing what it's told? It's making no effort to reduce the throttles whatsoever. No matter whether I press the speed knob down or up, the throttles are not reducing. And it's picked 10,640. Just a number out of the hat. Level change manually commands the plane. Level change basically says if there's a constraint that says you have to be at 10,000 feet by the time you reach this waypoint, and I put 6,000, the plane will not descend because it knows it has to keep at 10,000 feet. Yes? Okay, fine. If I command a level change, the plane will ignore these constraint limits and it will do what I frigging tell it to do because it has to. But no. Why are the throttles? Okay, let's put auto throttle on with the 270. Because even my own throttle that I've got here, my HOTAS, I don't have it anywhere near, at full power enough to tell the plane to do this speed. It's really actually quite down at the bottom. Okay, so you're not going to level change. Fine. I'm going to command you to come down this way then. So it has to be, it looks like I have to do the whole thing manually. And as for nav mode, you can forget that. The only way to make this plane, I've given in on the flight now. I don't have any desire to finish this flight. What was the name of that frigging waypoint? Was it Row Fix or something? Row Kit? body, man, honestly. And even if I did choose to land the plane, it doesn't fix anything. It doesn't explain anything. Well, I'm not flying the A320 aquatic. I'm flying the A310. But no, nobody else has this problem except for me. I'm the only one. And I'm doing exactly what everybody else is doing. I love how it thinks that row fix is like level 380. Oh, get real, man. What speed are we at now? Let's see if you can accept a proper input here. Nope, didn't think so. Why would you? In real planes, you can program the speed and altitude by typing it in and then pressing the soft key, and it'll do it. This is the approach from the other side, though, isn't it? Now where the hell are you going? What was wrong with just a right-hand turn? Because I picked the wrong fucking one. Well, aren't you awesome? I have no idea why this message should stay there, what the reason for that is. This isn't the correct runway, so I don't even think the plane's going to do it, but I think this is just a line going through the airport. I don't believe it's to land, is it? No, because the waypoints here do not match up with... Oh, okay. Oh, I see. These are the waypoints that are that take place when you abort the landing.
Ryanair 11 Victor Mike, 18
Can't believe I have to do this on my own. It'd be easier just to fly the plane manually. 'Cause it's pretty clear I'm a lot better than the autopilot is. Okay, I picked the wrong heading like a dick. And the other thing that's wrong, I think, with planes is once you've passed a waypoint, it deletes it off the list. You can't look back through. It won't let you do that, which I think is wrong. What do I know, though? So there's the runway. We want to be back up here. This 6,000 feet here? Well, I mean, maybe. This will be the last time I fly this plane, guys. Unless a fix is found or a solution. And I don't know. I think I want to set up a separate channel for Flight Simulator because I want to attract a different audience, like, you know, because I know it on this channel it's not popular, and so it's probably better having its own separate channel, so I'm going to do that. And I won't be putting any more flight sim videos on this channel. We're done. Right, so my idea is to just come up here, look round onto here if I can. Yep. And try and bring it in. This is unexplainable unless because I either don't. Oh, it's a VOR thing. Okay, never mind. So I want this dot alongside me, alongside the tail. It's going to take a little while because we're not flying that quickly.
Channel 71 Yankee, turn left heading 260. Channel 71 Yankee, turn left heading 200, clear line, approach runway 17. Channel 71 Yankee, south runway 1.
This is... It's weird, isn't it? Because the A320 and the 737, I don't have any problem with them. But this? This is a different animal altogether. It's just, it's like it's a Frankenstein freak of nature. I don't even want to look out the window, I just want to see it happen. Again, it's speeding up, look. It's speeding up when I want it to slow down. Okay, I'm gonna have to... On auto-throttle, it's just bizarre. The auto-throttle, I think, is the issue. Because I'm using, I'm supposed to be at 210, yeah, no. And for the next ones we need to be at 195. Okay, good, next, 180. fine. So landing gear has to be down on full flaps. That's okay, I don't want to do that yet. Let me get back to you in a second, Elaine. I just need to focus here. Makes any difference about having bloody seatbelt signs on for now. Come on, you prick. Like I can do a better job than the frigging autopilot can. I think I have an idea of why what is happening, but if I'm right, it's really kind of weird. Right now this plane's on a Cat 3, it'll land itself, but I'm not sure I want it to do it. The plane is mine. Is it? I'm putting in joystick inputs and I'm not getting a feedback. Okay, I didn't have both autopilots disengaged.
Hold up, three, hold up.
Ignore it.
Hold up,
It's my fault for not disengaging both autopilots. It put me off. What an absolute twat. And why does the autopilot carry on beeping the whole time? Is that normal? Surely a pilot doesn't have to listen to this crap when this is disengaged on both. Auto-throttle disengaged. You shouldn't have to listen to this crap all the way to the gates. I don't have full control of the... That's better. That's just me applying full throttle to get the plane going. I can't be bothered to wait for it to speed up. I don't know why I bothered really. I suppose just to prove to myself I could get it down manually. To zoom? Let's zoom. So it seems to me, my theory is that the auto throttle is capable of being engaged but still going, but the plane speed is no longer being taken from the auto throttle, but instead from your actual throttle input, right? And I think that happens at some point during the descent, where the auto throttle goes from 3 dashed lines to a number, or I don't know, something, I don't know, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I kind of know what I want to say. So it could be that when it accelerated, it was taking my throttle input, my HOTAS throttle input, that's what I mean by that, even though the auto throttle was on. Because you know yourself, with auto throttle, I can start setting speeds manually with the auto throttle still on, and it obeys it. So there's a point where it goes from full auto throttle to a kind of a manual, almost like a manual, semi-manual, semi-auto throttle thing. I don't know how to explain myself. And because my throttle wasn't fully back, but then if my throttle was fully back, would it then just drop the speeds? I have no idea. But my only explanation that I have for the plane accelerating is that it was taking inputs from my HOTAS. And I don't know where the hell my lights are. Now, if that's the case, let's pretend. Why did it increase in altitude as well? My taxi lights have suddenly disappeared, but they're not showing anywhere. And I'm going to see this through to the end. Right, Elaine. I don't know. Let me get back to you on that one. It's an interesting thought. It might help me. Oh God! The pain that I've had in my abdomen now since March is really giving me jip now, and I think it's this the stress I'm getting out of this. Yeah, let me get back to you on that one, Elaine. I think not at the moment, but I think it would be useful at some point if I. Yeah, but I think the fundamentals of this plane need to be sorted out by either somebody like I don't know, maybe the devs. I don't know. Right now, I can't even think straight, to be honest. I wish I was inside The Walking Dead right now, just smashing zombies' heads to pieces. What's the best zombie game out there, guys? And I don't want none of this open world multiplayer survival things like Rust. Not interested. Single player zombie killing stuff. Where's this freak gone? Resident Evil. That's a stealthy thing, isn't it, as well? I thought they'd fix this bullshit, but they haven't. Look at this. They said that they'd fix that in SU11. Nope. the multiple Resident Evils as well, Andy? I'm not sure. I think 5 is the latest, I guess. I'm really not sure. It would be good if you could create. I'm kind of 1% sure that this might be even possible to create chapter points in your live stream while you're streaming. I don't know why I've heard something like that already, but maybe it's possible. I don't have the... Oh, I was going to say I don't have the VSDG running, but I don't think you have to have it running. I think it should be running all the time. Let me just see if I have a folder for it. No. So this... Actually, it's this, isn't it? Let me take a look. Again, no explanation as to why it does this. It's bugged. Never used to do this in the earlier versions where it would lose rotation. This has happened since the last few sim updates. Yeah, that doesn't work. And I don't know why. Some airports have got it working, some don't. Yeah, okay, throttle up then, if it's the only way to kill them. Wow. What a disaster. I'm going to change the title of the stream to mention that it was an epic failure so that I don't waste people's time that want to watch it later. Yes, Elaine, you can do that, please. That'll be very nice. Alex P. Keaton, and you're into the comedy TV series names. Okay. Well, it's still early here, so I may do another stream of something else. I wish I could say I was in the mood for Elite Dangerous, but I'm not. So that's off for the moment. I have to be ready for that, because that's a time sink. So I don't know whether to oh, Alex is your hero, Elaine is your love. Gotcha. I was thinking the same thing. Gain damage, thinking the same thing. I don't expect it to go as well as last time though, but yeah. Because I'll probably want to use a different track. sniper. Sniper's cool, but it's not aggressive enough. It's not going to get my aggression out. Needs one of those shoot 'em uppy things. So I might just come back with a impromptu, call it an impromptu stream. I'll just, as soon as I get the game running, as soon as I get the wheel set up, I'll just go live straight away. Or we could do F1, Formula 1 22. Last time was incredibly nuts. It was, yeah, let's do a Seto then. Okay. Right, I'm going to bring up the credits. We'll keep this stream public, but I'll change the title to let people know that I got it down, but the plane failed. Yeah. All right, Elaine, yeah, thank you. Appreciate that a lot. And if you know anybody in the group that flies or has flown the Airbus 310, even better. And then maybe I can find out what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I'm sure we'll work it out in the end. If my theory holds out or has any merit whatsoever, then I'm going to know what to do on the next flight that I try, which will not be streamed. But if it does the same thing on, oh, okay, that's good. If it does the same thing again, when I tried a different thing, then I'm going to be totally at a loss as to why it's doing it. Or obviously it's me. I'm missing a step out somewhere. I'm doing something wrong. Something's happening with the auto throttle. It may be switching into a different mode on the descent, and it's suddenly taking inputs from my hot ass position. That's all I can think, because if it's not that, then I really don't know. Because I was not casually, what's the word? Incrementally, I guess, bringing the speeds down bit by bit as we were going, and we were on the final leg, and it went up to beyond Airbus recommended speeds, and it increased the altitude to a random 10,640. Yeah, okay. Drop that in my DM. In fact, don't wait a few days. Just drop it in, and I'll check it out. Yeah. Yeah, no, Elite Dangerous is off gain damage for today. But Assetto Corsa will do it. We'll do it. We'll pick a different track. I was thinking maybe Zandvoort, Dutch track, because it's one that it's quite technical in the middle, tricky. And I can't remember the layout in my head. I know bits of it in my head, so I'm going to have to do a few laps to shake the rust off, so to speak. So that should be fun. So yeah, let's do that. Anyway, I don't want to leave you guys staring at a blank screen. I'm going to get the credits up, and I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me and putting up with me. And I will be back to destroy my brain with some sim racing very, very shortly. Thank you, guys and girls, and whoever, dogs and cats. And I'll catch you very shortly. So until then, ciao for now.